Okay, we are now recording. My name is Annie-Emprima Martin.
And I'm Rosemary Fajardo.
And I am a metaphysician, so I study the rouleau, so in a Venn diagram with the three circles. I study that center point between theology, spirituality, and science. And a lot of what I bring forward in the Empowering Empaths webinar series comes from that rouleau. So it's how do all of those pieces play together to help us become better people and better humans. And
what I do is that I'm an intuitive soul guide, emotion code practitioner, and I'm also the founder of Lots of Love Club. And so what I specifically love to do and focus on is that I help people dive deeper into the unconditional love within themselves and really open up the heart to help them live a life that they love to live. And so thank you everyone for being here. Hello, Ryan, I saw you just popped on. So thank you so much for being here.
And Ryan, we're recording this, so I want to let you know ahead of time that if you share anything personal, it's going to get edited out.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so I'm going to share a PowerPoint, and we're going to move through the PowerPoint. And the conversation today is about food. Can everyone let me know if you can't see the PowerPoint? You can shoot it in the text. And Rosemary, if you don't mind, if anyone is in the chat, if you could share back and let me know. So this is Empowering Empaths. We do this twice a day at 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Pacific. And each day has a different theme. So this is just the core slide that's going to be in every episode that we have. And it is a horizontal version of a unilome. And it's the path to enlightenment. And it's a Buddha symbol, but in this version, we have it in a horizontal form, and it's the process from going from chaos to clarity. We cannot go from fear to love without moving through the middle. And what we're all experiencing at the global level is this messy middle. We have now had our normal routine disrupted, and we're having to adapt to that routine. And so we have to go through this awareness and then the stumbling process of figuring out what new normal looks like. And so a lot of what we're going to talk about today is exposing fear, having awareness, and then approaching it with compassion and love. So this is a photo from Target from a couple days ago, and this is the pain relief aisle. And what I do when I go into the stores, this is sort of a cross between a social experiment for me and a psychological awareness, because this is my background. So going into a store is research for me. What I'm seeing is people taking pain relievers, trying to purchase as much as they can. And it's not because they're in physical pain so much. It's because change is uncomfortable. And we're seeing this in a physical form being manifested. It's not the physical pain, but it's the unknown, the frustration, the discomfort we're processing through. So this seems kind of funny, right? Like, of all the things in the supermarket, why is the syrup aisle empty? And at first it was comical to me, like, why? What's up with the syrup at Winco? And as I moved through the aisles, I realized people are purchasing comfort food. And has anyone noticed, you can come off of mute, if anyone's noticed any other kind of foods that seem to not make sense rationally to be depleted, that really have no nutritional value? So these are the things that I pay attention to in the supermarket. And so on the left, this is Whole Foods. On the left is the yogurt, which has a 7-day shelf life or so. And then on the right are ready-to-eat meals. So at that point in time, there were still plenty of vitamins on the shelf. Vitamin C was on the shelf, plenty of oranges, but it was the comfort food that was being purchased. And so what's up with this toilet paper thing, right? Does anyone have an idea why toilet paper seems to be the leading product like the most in-demand commodity at this moment in time? Anyone want to take a guess?
Comfort.
Well, I hope Carmen is finishing the story.
All we're gonna do is just gonna be eating. That's it. Staying at home and eating comfort food that makes us feel better. So we're gonna have to go to the bathroom regularly.
Yeah.
Why are we hoarding toilet paper?
Because that's essential, especially to the daily routine. Everybody does it. Every day is natural. Everyone does it. So when everybody's locked in, toilet paper is the emergency to go to that you would probably get.
Coffee, most people are drinking coffee every morning, right? And coffee's not running out on the shelf.
Toilet paper is such a sensitive thing, especially because it's the most vulnerable thing about you is going to the restroom. And so if you take that away, I mean, that's just even more panic. That just causes more panic because now you don't know how to take care of that problem if you don't run out of toilet paper. It really does cause, even excess stress that's not needed. So you rather have more than not have enough.
It's that routine that we have. Just what we know, because there's places in the world that don't have toilet paper and they go about that a different way. But it's just what we've come to be comfortable with and what we're used to.
And that's a great point, is when I was deployed in Kuwait, the civilian toilets didn't have toilet paper. They don't use toilet paper. It's not a product that wouldn't even occur to them to run out and purchase toilet paper. But if you were a mom of very young children, what's the safest place for you in the house?
Depending on how smart your children are, the bathroom. Because
Yeah,
I know you break into bathrooms.
Right? There's a lock on the door.
Yeah.
And when you're stressed out, or when you're in the most vulnerable moment of your day, where are you? You're in the bathroom. You're naked in the bathroom. If you are stressed out, you might take a bath, you might take a hot shower, you might take a cold shower. So we have now attached an emotion to an action. Thoughts and feelings, thoughts and feelings. And so what we're seeing in the supermarket, at first it boggled me, but now I look at it and it's research. It's okay, how are the people in my environment reacting to the scenario? And it is fear, but it's really coming down to discomfort. It is telling us that in the state of discomfort, we don't know what to do with it. We buy pain medicine and we buy toilet paper. And we buy syrup. And why syrup, right? Anyone know why we ran out of syrup? Think of what foods you would eat. And we'll go around. What foods you would eat as a child is pancakes, right? What would mom make you if you were sick? Chicken soup. That's gone from the shelf. So anything, depending on what culture we are, the foods that brought us comfort as a child is what's disappearing off the shelves. Right? That tells us that at the emotional level, in a state of panic and discomfort, we're regressing to the point of trauma. So if we had a trauma at 7 years old, it's now our 7-year-old that's shopping in the supermarket. Had trauma at 21, right? Ramen noodles. If we were 21 and something happened while we were in college, we're now the 21-year-old self is shopping in the supermarket. Because no one is thinking about immunity. Vitamin C is not disappearing off the shelf. The oranges are not disappearing off the shelf. It's the comfort food that is affixed to our timeline for the points in our trauma line, right? And so the people that did a lot of spiritual work before they came here were noticing they're buying organic, they're buying fruits and vegetables. They're not affected in that sense of regressing back to trauma. And the other folks, so we've got there's two different customers in a supermarket right now. The people who are spiritually, that are ready to step on a spiritual journey, or they have clarity, or they have some training or experience with uncertainty and discomfort, they're shopping logically. And the other folks are shopping the sweets, the salts, the comfort, right? And so that tells us if we as a collective, if we as a group want to help our community, the best thing we can do is recognize that we need to have compassion in the supermarket, because we have, in many ways, we have a lot of children shopping. And it's not in a disrespectful way, but it's if we have wounds as a society, it's the point in our timeline that we really need to be bringing compassion to. We're not bringing compassion to the 50 or the 60 or the 40-year-old. We're bringing compassion to the 7, 8, and 9, 10-year-old. And that's the level of energy that we want to bring into the supermarket. Is let's bring forward how we would treat a 7-year-old that was upset. And if we bring the energy in and we say, okay, we're going to bring love into the supermarket and we're going to emit it, because we understand that at an emotional level, the folks in here that are panicking because they don't know what to do. And when we emit love, when we take it with full intention and we emit just the word love, it doesn't even have to have a lot of complexity to it. Just standing in a supermarket and emitting the word love, that alone has a lot of power. That alone can bring down the discomfort of someone who is reliving and re-triggered by something that happened 20, 30, 40 years ago. So I want to go back to the slide. And we're going to go back to, I want to now ask each one of you what really matters to you. If we know that people are shopping for discomfort, and they're shopping out of fear, and they're shopping out of trauma, and many other things, the unknown, what really matters in this moment, what can we bring forward as a group to help the people in our small space, in our environment?
And I'll just go around to all the squares, and
Okay.
so we can know who to unmute at this time. So do you want to go first, Elise? You're my first square.
What really matters? I think
What really matters?
it's one, it's understanding, just understanding where everybody's at and why they're panicking and why we have the tendency to panic, but also just like understanding to where like I can meet you where you are and pick you up. I think that's one of the strongest things we could have right now.
Mm-hmm. Wait, just to ask Annie, did you mean what really matters when you're buying things in the supermarket, or just in general?
In general. And
okay, just double checking.
Point. And it's not to create a hierarchy. It's not like I'm better than you, you're better than me, but it's I'm going to fall down on something else, and I'm going to hope that you pick me up here. And if you fall down, I'm going to pick you up here, because that's that symbiotic growth. So what we're seeing are people who in this moment we can contribute something to, and then later in time they can contribute back. And so we want to have this upward flow in intention.
Yay.
That was great.
Thank you, Elise. Do you want to go next, Kathy?
Oh,
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, there you go.
I think the most important thing is like listening to them and being compassionate, because you don't understand like what they're going through like at home, what it's like, because I'm sure it's really stressful like for parents who have kids. Like I spoke to my friend today, and he was like, yeah, it's kind of stressful because he has 2 boys and they're in the house all day. And I was just listening to him talk, right? Because it's not like before, like you send them to school and you have like whatever, it's 6 hours or however many hours it is, and you have your time like on his off days, like he was off today. And so like you have to understand like parents are stressed, like I don't have kids, but I understand that they're stressed that the kids have to be homeschooled now, or like what's going to happen. Like everybody is dealing with stresses that you don't know, so you just have to listen to them and be compassionate to what they're going through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Kathy.
Thank you.
John, you're the next square on my screen, so would you like to go next?
Yeah, I think compassion
just like what Kathy said, and empathy. Empathy. Be able to empathize with someone with similar emotions, because we are might be experiencing stress or some of the similar emotions at this time. So reminding ourselves that what they're experiencing is something that I felt before as well. And that so yeah, I think that's the most important thing, is empathy, and allowing ourselves to be vulnerable with empathy as well. So that's it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, John.
No problem.
Brittany, you're the next square.
Ooh. I would say one of the most important things right now that I'm finding is community. That has been big. I'm noticing for myself, and kind of how I'm getting through this is like with my family, I'm visiting them more. I know we're not supposed to be leaving the house unless it's absolutely necessary, but at least seeing my family and checking up on my mom and my dad and my stepmom, and whoever said parents are stressed, yes, they are. My stepmom is about to like go crazy. So I told her that we would take my little sisters whenever she needs a break, because I know this routine is not normal. It's not her norm. So it is a little stressful to have a very hyper 7-year-old and a somewhat moody 14-year-old in the house all the time. So I think just having that community and helping each other where we can, that's been really big.
Thank you for sharing, Brittany.
You're welcome.
Ryan, you're up next.
So I guess thing that's been hard sometimes, but it's actually appreciation. It's kind of ironic because in the situation we're at, most people are pissed or scared or, all of the above. But, as people were talking about understanding, that was like kind of the first step is, try to understand the situation, right? You go to the supermarket. Part of me wanted to buy everything I could get my hands on too, because it seems like if I don't, it won't be there tomorrow. But then as I started, looking around, it's real easy to be upset at the guy or girl next to me with a whole cart full of what I needed. And I was thinking, for a year, you probably wouldn't use that much stuff, but because the media or whatever. So, it's kind of take a second to look at, I understand a lot of these things, but it still doesn't sit well. So some of the stuff that I work on is, to try to take it to the next step, so that beyond understanding, is to appreciate, like, okay, you know what, this person is extremely scared, or, whatever. They saw the news at Costco and there's no more. So they ran out, and wherever they could get it, they get it. So, appreciate what they're doing maybe for their family. So that helps me not drive around looking at people and having like a negative approach, or start to wonder, are you that person? Are you this? Should I be this? It makes it easier to kind of navigate, and then to also be ready to help if I can help. So appreciation was kind of a big thing.
Yay, appreciate you being here. Thank you, Ryan. All right, Natalia, what matters to you the most right now?
Well, what matters to me is right now, I'm a giving person. I'm a giving type of, that helping hand when you need it. So if I'm available and able, I'll give it, to whoever's, in need around me, or who's near me, and who I can reach. But what I try to do to try to get to most people, to try to, get a better feeling around, is I actually send everybody off that I meet with a blessing every time I meet them. And if I get them with a smile, even better. If I can make it with a joke, even better. I think just a little boost of, of energy, of a smile, just makes a difference for somebody. And appreciating them as well, especially when you see somebody working, appreciating for their work and for what they do, and for the stresses they're going through, and, kind of giving them that little ease that everything's going to be okay, and keeping up the faith. I think that's just almost like, just they can feel your vibration as well when you're in their knee. They can feel you that you're calm and collected. They'll be like, okay, all right, I'm all right. Okay, have a good day. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think keeping calm and for me is wishing everybody a blessed day and stay safe, regardless if you know them or don't. If it's a neighbor, if it's somebody walking a dog, if it's you're walking around to go pick up your mailbox, meeting everybody with a hi, how you doing, and have a blessed day, or stay safe, or something that will just make sure that at that moment you can connect with them.
Hey, I love it. Thank you so much, Natalia.
No problem.
All right, Crystal, you're next. Oh, wait, you gotta unmute yourself. It's okay.
Okay. So, hello.
Hi.
I feel like the most important thing for me right now is just being sensitive to the people around you. Since I have been quarantined, I've never left the house. One, because I live with my mom, and she's at the age where it's like one of the high risk people. And I also live with my niece, she's only 6 months old. So I just try my best to stay at home. I haven't really gone out, or even if as much as I want to see my boyfriend, he's still working right now, so I don't really know who are the people that he's getting in contact with, like physically. So I just want to be like extra careful to make sure that my family is healthy. And also I'm staying at home too, to make sure that just to like contain it, like not contribute to having more coronavirus cases and things like that. So yeah, just being sensitive to the people around me.
Thank you. And last but not least, Mr. Dante, what matters most to you?
What matters most to me right now, really always, is community as well. And this is a situation that a lot of us have thought that like we'd never have to deal with, and it's taking a lot of people by shock, and they're resorting to comfort. And not everyone is prepared. Not everyone has the ability to cope with situations like these. So it's really important to be observant and understanding of your fellow human and just being there, because we're at a point where we need to come to an understanding that we're not in this alone, and that you can reach out to your neighbor, you can reach out to somebody else. It's something that's very rare these days because we get so caught up in our daily routines and just going about life. It's very common. I would notice with myself, especially in my work week, I would just go on autopilot and just go to work, do work, come home, sleep, repeat, and it kind of clogs you up. But this is kind of a moment where we have time to slow down and pay attention to our surroundings and be present and just make sure that everyone's all right.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely. This is the time where I feel like a lot of us are being more present than ever and more giving than ever. But earlier I was on a live stream with John, and I just wanted to also share what I shared earlier with John, is that a lot of us, I can feel, are very giving to other people, but just want to serve the reminder that make sure to fill your own cup first before you can give to others. Otherwise, if your cup's empty, what can you give to others? And so what we usually do at the end is that we do a brief breathing exercise when we get there. But I just wanted to say thank you all for sharing. And what matters most to me is, spreading the love and understanding that love and compassion are never-ending journeys when it comes to expanding our love and compassion. And so that's what really matters most to me. And it's needed more than ever right now with all the fear and anxiety and everything that's going on around the world. And so everyone here is such a beautiful, loving being. And so I really just appreciate everyone for being here. But Annie, do you have anything else to add?
What matters most to me at this moment is twofold, is my son. And And then also being able to share what I know with all of you to bring more awareness of the metaphysical world that I understand, and how we can all participate in being kinder and being strengthening our community, and all of the things that we said today, to amplify it, to be the intensifier for all of that. So that's part of my calling, part of my purpose, and that matters a lot to me.
Yay, and thank you so much for the beautiful presentation. Definitely opened up my eyes to being more compassionate to people in the supermarkets, because definitely I was like question marks when I went to the supermarket the other day. I was like, what's going on? And so if you'd like to participate, I'll do a brief like mini guided meditation for about 3 minutes. And what's calling to me today is to remind ourselves to fill up our cup. So the brief meditation will be about filling our own cup so that we have our beautiful cup to share tomorrow. So let me just get my sound bowl. So has anyone not like meditated before? Raise a hand. Wait, have you not meditated? Oh, you have? Oh, wait, I'm confused. Okay. Well, basically,
I have.
Oh, okay, you have. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically we're just focusing on our breath, and I'll be saying the intention out loud of when you'll be inhaling and exhaling. So if you just want to get into a comfortable position and close your eyes, we're going to just take one big deep breath to start off, and exhale. So I want you to imagine your heart, and every time you inhale yourself filling your heart with love. So inhale and exhale. And every time we inhale, you fill your hearts even more with love. Inhale and exhale. And then take a deep breath and fill it up with even more love. And exhale. And then take a deep breath again. Then imagine it filling up your room. All this love in the room, and then exhale. And then inhale, imagine it filling your home. And then exhale. And then inhale again. Imagine it filling up your neighborhood. And exhale. And take one deep breath and imagine it filling up the world. And exhale. And then imagine it filling up the world again. And then hold this love within your heart that you filled your entire world with. And exhale, but keep that love within your heart. And then now take your hands and put them to your heart. And thank yourself for filling your beautiful heart with love so that you can expand it with everyone else. And have a big smile. And that's what I like to do at the end. So thank you so much for joining. That's enough breathing. How is everyone feeling? Great. Cool.
Feel great.
Yay. Thank you so much.
I'm going to share one more slide.
Yes.
So,
oh,
okay. Maybe.
Not the toilet paper.
Not the toilet paper. If you want to follow us, this is our Instagram, and my face, and both of our Facebook is the same as well. And then we ask that you also join our Empaths Around the World Facebook page.
And if I don't have you, oh, sorry. I was just about to say, if I don't have you on Facebook, type your name in the chat and I can add you to the group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And what were you going to say, Annie? Sorry, I didn't mean to interject.
We do it twice a day, 9:30 a.m., 9:30 p.m. It's the same, it'll be the same talk, slightly modified. Each day is a different theme, but it'll be the same theme morning and evening. And so welcome you. We invite you to join us every day for as long as we're doing this, and invite friends, help spread the love, and bring more people to the group, because the more we have, the more energy we're spreading to our neighborhood and our communities. And so I'm going to end the recording.
Yay, thank you, Ryan.